everybody. Welcome. We are so excited that you have made that decision to join our Scentsy family. And this video is just for you. We've got some wonderful superstar directors in our Zoom call, specifically to help you get your business off the ground to the fabulous start that we know you can get it off to. So we're going to kick it off first to Jody Farmer in New York, and then she's going to pass the baton down the line, and we are going to tell you step by step what you have to do to get this business off the ground, rocking and rolling, and get you some money. Jody, take it away.
I love me some money. Okay, so as Heather said, welcome to Scentsy, and welcome to our fast little training for you. We'll try to keep it short so we don't lose you. One of the first things that you really want to do as a new consultant is first, if you've gotten a welcome letter from your upline anywhere, you want to make sure you read that. If you didn't, because not everybody sends them, that's okay. You've got a startup guide, and if you don't have your kit yet, which is where it lives, thank you, Heather.
Here's your startup guide. It comes in your kit, your Scentsy Bible.
Yep, you can find a ton of information in the meantime on your workstation. Underneath your resource tab, you're going to want to take some time and get to know some of the resources that are in there. In general, play with your workstation. But so as you're going through your startup guide, your welcome letter, you're playing on your workstation and you get questions, write them down. Because there's a lot of information out there and we don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. So if you write them down, you're not going to forget them. But then you have time to go over that with your sponsor or use your team Facebook pages that are out there. And then that person can respond in writing so that if you can go back and say, what did she say? What was the answer? Because there's a lot of information coming your way and we get it. But then you have it in writing and you'll be like, okay, PRV means personal retail volume. So write those questions down. Again, I said play with your workstation. This is the best thing, I think, for a new consultant to get your feet wet is, for me, I learned by doing. So go in, play around on your workstation, go to your orders tab, and open up at least 2 parties. And I got this idea from Heather Gorsuch. So you're going to open one party, and you're make sure you click the button that says show on your PWS. You're going to keep that open for 15 days from the date that you started until the date that you ended, because there are some awards that you guys get to earn within your first 15 days. So you're going to want to make sure that you try to get as many online parties orders as you can through that. But then you're going to open a second party that's for your first 70 days. So day 1 will be the day that you joined. Your 70th day, you'll end it on your 70th day. I can speak right. So Heather, in your startup guide, can you show them the shooting star and the sensational start so I don't lose them, like confuse them?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me.
Page 26.
5 and 6, right?
Y'all got it, girls?
Right? It's page 5 where it talks about
Perfect.
award information, your consultant awards, and then page 6, yes.
So you got to talk, Heather or Jamie or one of you, to make your face big.
Here, page 6 talks about the sensational start. Is it not showing? It's not listening to me.
Yes. No, you're there. But can you break it down?
If you change the view, we can see all 4 of us at the same time. If you change the speaker view in the upper right side, it'll record all 4 of us at the same time. Like make all 4 of us sort of big.
Oh, instead of gallery view.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever.
Well, would you look at that? Okay,
Just learned something new.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I don't have one, but I'll just hold my hands up.
This is great.
Be prepared.
So I guess my question to y'all is when someone joins, what is the first goal, Carol? Like what's their first goal that they have to do? That they just joined? What's the first thing they need to do?
Oh man, the first thing that you have to do once you become a consultant, I think right away, is schedule your launch party. So your launch party is number 1, the thing that you should be doing so you can earn all of these awards that are only available to you the first time that you join Scentsy. Second would be to announce it on Facebook and let every single person that you know that you're a Scentsy consultant. We have some great pictures on our group pages. There's pictures that you can find at just Googling join Scentsy that you can use on your Facebook page. But just, and the other thing is to make sure that you are on your team's Facebook page. That is super important. That's where we share ideas. That's where you get all kinds of information on there where you can ask questions if someone's not available. But I think schedule your launch party right away. And then Jody talked about setting up a party on your personal workstation, and then make your list of 100 contacts. So there in your starter guide is a list, a spot where you can make your 100 contacts. Now you don't have to fill those in all the way. This can be totally a working list, but you really do know more people than what you think. And so by making your list of 100, start with Frank. Who's your friends, relatives, acquaintances, people that you work with. That's not Frank, but whatever,
Yeah, that's
neighbors and known associates, or people that you know through other people. So would be K, right? I don't know, but there's so many people that when you just start putting names down, think about people you went to high school with, people that maybe you haven't talked to in a long time. This is a great excuse to say, hey, how are you doing? And hey, just check out my website. I've got a new business started, and just would love to have coffee with you and talk about it. So there are tons of ways for you to make a list, but you do know more people than you think. You might think, I can only list 20, but once you start actually sitting down, names will just start flowing to you. And then you can always ask for referrals right away too. Start asking people, who do you know that loves candles? Because I want to make sure that I get in front of them, that I get my name out to them, give them my website, drop them off a catalog, whatever. So I think that to me is the most important thing to do at the beginning.
Absolutely. So Jamie, is there by your 15th day, what is it that they need what's the number one focus by the 15th day? What's their goal as in terms of sales?
Shooting star, the 500 in sales.
500 PRV, which
PRV,
is
personal retail
volume by the 15th day.
Yes.
And what does that get them?
They qualify for the Shooting Star incentive kit, which I don't have a picture of that. Does anyone?
You know what? I'm going to try to pull it up though. So it's an opportunity to purchase a Shooting Star kit.
Yes.
They don't have to. They have 90 days to buy it, right? Or something.
They have 90 days to buy it. It's a great way to get business tools in your hand and have products to show or sell to your customers, and for you yourself to get acquainted with the different products that we have.
And you also get paid on it.
How much is it to buy it?
Yes. It's $200.
200, and it's over $300 value.
Yep.
Thank you, Carol.
So then you are almost certified. By the time you finish,
yes, you're halfway there.
$500, you're going to get your $300 away from getting a raise of 5% on your pay.
Holy moly!
So a little bit off topic, but to feed off of what Carol said, when I worked in Perfect, there's an enhancement kit or an example of it. The contents may vary. There's your disclaimer. When I worked in corporate America, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys, there was no controlling the amount of money that you made. There's no controlling whether or not you got a raise. So when you start off as an essential consultant, you're going to get paid at the 20% level. When you reach 1,000 PRV, you automatically get a raise of 5%. Like for some people, they do that within their first commission period. So their first month, they've already given themselves a 5% raise. Hell no, sign me up. I mean, I worked for an insurance company for 5 years. I got like a 3% raise that whole time.
Well, the military, my husband in the Navy, I think it was a 1% pay raise a year. 5 years it takes to get a 5% pay raise.
Right. And then
1 month? What are you talking about?
So your first promotion and your first raise is up to you. I mean, once you reach 1,000 PRV, bam, you're going from essential consultant to certified consultant. You've given yourself a raise. Tell me where you can do that in, a couple weeks, a couple days, a month even, whatever. And then, take it even further. I know I might be jumping the gun here a little bit, but anytime that you sell 2,000 PRV in a month or more, you get another 5% raise on top of your, 25%. You're getting paid 30% for that month on that 2,000. So every month we have control whether or not we get a raise. Like, hello, that's huge to me. Once I realized, I was like, I want a raise every single month.
Every month, yes.
And if you sell $1,000 in your first month, you never get paid 20%.
Right.
get paid 25%. So if you can work super hard in that first calendar month that you join, but if you join on the 15th, you're going to have to by the 30th or the 31st, depending on when the last day of the month is. If you have $1,000 in by that time, you get paid on the 10th. Your money. So if you do $1,000, you get 25%. So that's $250. So not only in 2 weeks time, we'll just say you can be paid back for your kit plus make $125. I don't know in any sort of business where you could do that except for Scentsy. You can literally make money in the first couple weeks of your business if you time it right. So, by all means, shoot for the moon and go hard until the end of the first month that you join, so you can reach your $1,000 and get an instant pay raise, make some money, take your family out to dinner and have a really good time, or go buy yourself a massage or do something with that money that you've just made, because that's the whole point of this business. Do something fun with the money that you make.
For sure. And I just want to throw this out here really quick. I know Jody mentioned 2,000 PRV. I know it sounds a lot, y'all, but it's really 4 or 5 home parties in 30-day calendar month. I mean, break it down because it's really only 4 to 5 parties a month. And if you have 4 or 5 days out of that 30 or 31 days during that month, you've got a pretty nice 5% bonus and a nice size paycheck. And bouncing off what Carol says, our paycheck, it goes from month to month. So whatever you do in March, you get paid April 10th on. So you start back at 0, come the new month. You work by month and you design and create how much PRV you want in that calendar month, and you're paid on your efforts and your work the 10th following. So just speaking of pay real quick, how do we get paid? Jamie, do you want to take and talk about the pay card and explain that really quick and how that works just briefly?
Well, the pay card comes separately from not in your starter kit. So it will come in totally different information that you should read through all of that information. But we get paid on the Scentsy Pay portal. And then once it goes there, you're able to transfer the money where you want it, to the card or to your bank account.
And use it as a Visa if you want, or transfer.
And it goes when you transfer it to the card, it goes instantly.
You know what I started doing? I started keeping a little in the pay portal hidden from my husband and building a little nest egg.
Can I say something about the debit card that you're going to get? So I've seen lots and lots of people who have had that number compromised. So if you're going to use your Scentsy Pay card that comes in the mail, just transfer a tiny bit at a time. There's an online thing. So just transfer right before you're going to use it. Don't keep large amounts of money on your card. Set up a bank transfer and transfer it directly to your bank, or keep it in the Pay portal if you want to start a savings account, if you don't want to actually use all your money. But please do not put it on your card. It takes like 60 plus days to get your money back.
Don't keep it next to the Visa symbol.
No, don't keep it next to the Visa symbol. Just transfer it directly to your bank account.
People in Canada pulled my money out.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get my money back, and we needed that money. I needed gas. I needed groceries. I mean, like Carol said, do not keep it next to the Visa.
I personally don't use it. I use a card that, I have a credit card that I get points and mileage on, where I get to, every year I can fly to convention for free because I put all my orders on my card. So I have a credit card that I use, and I pay it off as soon as I put an order on it. I use it like a debit card. But that's something that you might want to look into because when you're placing all these orders, you're paying online with your debit or credit card. So you might as well have a card that can give you some cash back or mileage or points where you can use them for other stuff later on. So that's something I like to encourage people to do. And also, you want to make sure you have a separate bank account. It can just be another personal account, but have a separate bank account for your business where you put all your Scentsy checks in. You don't want to mix personal and business money together. So that's one of our things we wanted to cover. Sorry, I jumped the gun there.
No,
but
I love that, because it's not necessary. We didn't write any of this down, y'all, when we're talking to you. It's just kind of off the cuff and things that are coming to our mind. So I'm sure there's plenty of things we're going to leave off, but we're really going to try to cover as much as we can. And while we're talking the pay card, if you go and get gas, they will keep a big chunk of your money as a hold, and then they'll refund it back. Just FYI, that's just some information.
I never use it to get gas.
I never use it to get gas.
Our gas station doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on where you're at.
But then you'll be questioning, where'd my money go? It'll come back, but be very careful when you're doing that as well.
There's an app so that you for your phones that you can watch and look at all that and track and transfer your money very easily.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think another thing that we want to cover is that you get a personalized website for 3 months, and we want you to we want you to write your story down because it matters. And one of the things that people will buy from you because of you. And in this business, it's not just because of Scentsy. They'll buy from you because they know, like, and trust you. And so one of the things that we want you to do is write your story on your website for everyone to see. You can check out our websites, check out your sponsors' websites, but definitely set up a time to meet with your sponsor so that you can go over how to do all of this stuff. It's pretty easy, but we like to walk you through it as a sponsor. That's our job. And so feel free to call your sponsor. If you don't get an answer from them, call your director, call your superstar director until you find someone that will help you. Because there is people up there. There are people above you that are there to help.
Yeah.
It's not.
And there's the training center too.
That's right. And then we have the training center. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jamie. Tell them about the training center.
I was just saying that there are lots there to go and watch. There's a new consultant training to watch to help you enter orders in. It's not difficult, but it is kind of fun to have someone with you the first time, or if you watch the video, just so it makes it a little easier to know how to enter the orders, make things a little simpler, explain things.
Jody, you want to tell them really quick, how do they take payments? While we were talking about payments, it reminded me, hey, what do they do with cash when they got it?
Right. Okay. So Carol already mentioned that you're going to want to have a separate bank account for your Scentsy money. That was one of the very first things I did. I don't like my money to commingle. I don't balance a checkbook, so I didn't want any mistakes. So all my money, my cash that my customers give me if I do a home party or whatever, goes into my Scentsy account, which is just at my regular bank. And then I have a bank card that's attached to that. So when I'm going in and I'm going to put in my orders, the very first thing I do is I enter all my customers' information. Hold on a second. So down here, right under my finger is credit card information for these customers. So when I'm ready to close out and I've redeemed all my host credits, okay, let me back up a minute, because if you don't redeem your host rewards before you close out, they're gone. Don't call because you're not getting them back. Just they're gone. So once you've done all that and you're going to payment, you enter in all of your customers that have paid with a credit card first. You'll see the balance on your party order start to come down based on the amounts that you paid with credit card. The very last thing that I submit is the people who paid with cash. So I have all their money in my Scentsy, on my Scentsy bank card that's attached to my credit union, and I finalize the balance should be exactly what's in this account. So then I submit that, and that's on the very last page. It's hard to show you because we don't have the workstation up, but that's the easiest. So if they write you a check, deposit it. If they give you cash, deposit it. If they give you credit cards, you just enter their information at the end.
Awesome. So while you were holding that order form up, so what are some good habits that y'all would recommend? Like, my tidbit of information is get in the habit of filling out that top portion of the order form completely. One of the most important things you can ever get is the email address. I'm going to totally steal her customer now.
No, you're not.
I'm teasing. You don't do that. But the first thing I need to do is that email address. You know why? Because Scentsy makes us look really, really good, because once a month, they have a newsletter that gets sent out directly to all of our customers, and it looks like I personally typed that sucker up and spent all that time talking fabulous when I didn't, but it makes me look really good as a consultant. But guess what? Your customers are not going to get that unless you put in their email address and click yes to subscribe to my newsletter. So get in that habit of filling out that whole top portion of your order forms. So ready, set, go. Who wants to give another important tip that you wish you would have known right off the get-go?
On the order forms?
On anything.
Oh, on the order forms, for me, they're my golden ticket. So like when I'm at a party or an event or anything like that, I like to jot down something about that customer that maybe stood out. So then when I go back, because you want to follow up with your customers, you don't want to constantly be searching for new customers. You need to take care of the ones that you gain along the way. But so I'm going to follow up with this customer, and I wrote a note about her sick son, or her son who was injured. And I'm going to be like, how was your son's leg? My phone keeps going off. I apologize. It was so nice to
busy lady, all those orders coming in.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. It was so nice to meet you. I hope your son is feeling better. How are you enjoying your Scentsy? Follow up for me isn't always about making the sale. It is about making the connection at first, and the sales will come after that. So I like I said, I use it as a little note guide of, hey, this is how I'm going to remember this.
And that's setting you apart from any other consultant, I think. You're creating that relationship, because when they call next time, they're like, well, how is your dog Rusty Bucket?
Right. How is Rusty? Is he still
How the
alive?
heck did she know Rusty Bucket was my dog?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And you don't, and tell them when they're filling out their order forms, they don't necessarily have to use the product codes or anything. That's not necessary. Just write their warmer and their scents down.
Because that wastes a
And
lot
I'll
of time.
figure everything up for you.
Yeah, no codes. You don't need anything.
No, you don't need any of that.
Just type what you're trying to enter. If it's a perfect Scentsy, type in perfect. If it's a system, type in system, and they'll all
Just some
come up.
keywords.
Just start with a few words and it'll come. One of the things that I want to encourage you guys as a new consultant is just don't give up. You're going to hear a lot of no's along the way. Just start, pegging them off on a checklist and just start marking them off. And just know that for every 10 to 12 no's, you get one yes. So
so many no's means just not right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It just means they're not ready. They don't have the time to actually sit down and look at what you're talking about. So don't mark them completely off. Touch back with them in a month or two, but just don't take no for an answer. Keep going, because persistence is what is key in this business, and that will set you apart from everyone else. Focus on great customer service, contacting people. Always be detached from the outcome. It's focus on the customer. What's the best for them? Hey, I wanted to let you know we have a bunch of scents that are retiring at the end of this month, or we've got a new catalog that's coming out, or we have when we have Bring Back My Bar months, we have 20 scents that have returned for 1 month only. So you're in it to let them know about what's going on, and you're just offering it to them. It's like asking them if they'd like coffee. Some might say no, some might say yes, but just keep asking and keep talking and keep working on what's the best deal for them. Hey, I'm placing an order. I'd love to save you shipping. What can I get for you? Or, hey, you can place a Costco size order and I'll mail it to your house for free. Right?
Costco size order. I like that. I'm going to use that.
Right? Sam's Club, whatever you have in your area. I don't know. But, you can place a bulk order. I think Heather's really good at that. She has a lot of customers that still buy from her in different areas. And she's like, hey, you place a bulk order and I'm going to ship it to your house for free. And she places the party order and has it sent directly to their home. So this company is awesome. And all you have to do is believe in yourself and keep moving forward. And you're going to do great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, and while you're talking shipping, y'all want to explain real quick how that works? Somebody want to take shipping on how it's the dollar amount, how it can't go to multiple addresses and what the perpetual is. A lot of people don't know what the perpetual is.
Why don't you just go ahead?
Yeah, go right ahead.
You've already started, so take it away, Heather.
Come on.
Okay. Let's see if I can explain this without making it confusing.
That's why I didn't want to take it.
Okay. I personally want you to erase the word party out of your head. I don't want you to think that party literally means come in your house. I mean, would you want that at the beginning? Yes. But like Carol was just saying, buying in bulk. A party is only $200 minimum in orders. You can make it a party. That's how we have to enter it to get free and half price. So there's different type of parties you can do. Yes, you want your launch party immediately. You've got home parties, basket parties, fundraisers, events. There are different types of orders that you can place. So just remember, if anybody comes to you with $200 or is close, you ask and say, girl, you're pretty close to $200 in orders. Do you have a friend or somebody that needs some bars or something? So as long as you're getting orders or multiple orders to that $200 mark, it is a party. So remember that. And when you're doing it, everybody's order, if you can drive to them within reason or walk to them, you're putting it all in one party. If you cannot drive or walk to them, cha-ching, they're paying the money to ship it. Because if all the boxes can come to one address, the hostess or yourself, and you can go drive or walk it, free shipping. But if I'm in Texas and my customer in Kansas, I'm not driving or walking that. You're paying the shipping, lady. Sorry, that's just how it works. If you want to offer a perk and pay for shipping and be that generous person that you are, you can. I did not do that in the beginning. I waited till later on to offer free shipping to certain customers. I still don't do it. I charge shipping sometimes. Sometimes I get free. It depends on when they catch me, what month, if I'm being nice or not.
And shipping is cheaper if you do it in the workstation when you're entering an order versus going to the PWS. So the PWS shipping is $8 or $6 or 10%, whichever is the minimum, or whichever is the highest. And then if you do it online in your workstation, it's $5 or 10%, whichever is the most. So that is something that I try to collect a bunch of orders. Then I go through and individually edit them, put them in my party. So I get host rewards, and their shipment will go directly to them. You have to check a little marker that says direct ship. But then, you know, I'm getting the host benefits. I get the best part about being a consultant is you get to be the host and the consultant. So you get commission and free and half price stuff if you collect a bunch of orders, which is why your launch party is so important, because you get to be the host and the consultant. So you can stock up on some items for your home, because you have to have our laundry stuff, and you have to have our counter clean, and you have to have some more bars to warm in all your warmers that you're going to put in your house. So it's going to be, you're going to be buying a lot of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
So I know we have to cut this short because we don't want to keep anybody too long, but I just wanted to touch on what both of you said. So Heather was saying that a party doesn't have to be, 10 people. It doesn't have to be a home party. It can be, one person who's, close to that 200. So these are just the orders that I've got to enter in today. They were all individual people who I contacted on Facebook, and I'm going to enter it in, like Carol said, as a party, and I'm going to be the consultant and the host. And I have 2 on here that are direct ship. So I told them, give me your order so I can save you some money on shipping, because I'll only pay $5 if I enter it on my end underneath a party. So keep that in mind. We know we threw a lot of information at you just now. It's okay.
We got more coming. Stay tuned to video too.
This is recorded, so you can watch it again.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. Like my new consultants always, I'm sorry to bug you, I'm sorry to bother you, but that's why I'm here. So that's why we're all here. So don't be afraid to ask. And no question is a dumb question.
Nope, not at all.
But read, if we give you tools, this is my hang up, use them. Read your startup guide, read your welcome letter, use your team Facebook.
Go to the news tab.
Right. News tab on your workstation. Like, we all have tools. Now, as a new consultant, sometimes it's a little overwhelming, and we expect a lot of questions, and we encourage it. But at the same time, make sure you're jotting those answers down so that you can go ahead and, refresh after when you need to. So I think that's about all I have.
Well, and stay tuned. Our next video, we're going to cover what the perpetual reward is. We didn't cover that. And we're also going to cover on samples, which is a huge part of your business. So you might want to go ahead and click video 2. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Go ahead and join us on video 2. Bye, y'all.
Bye.